Hi guys, welcome back again to my channel. Okay, so I'm coming to share my life experience with you, things that happened to me in Ghana before I came to Germany. But this is something that I will never forget in my life. I will never forget in my life. It was a terrible experience, and it was actually because of that I had to decide to like apply for a school and come to study in Germany. Okay, so there was this friend of mine who passed away, and I had to attend the funeral, okay, in the eastern region somewhere. So we had gone for the funeral, and then after the funeral, I was just what was I going to do? I was just going to buy something. So on my way to the shop to go and buy, as I was crossing the road, I got hit by a motorbike. Okay, so the experience was very terrible. Okay, so at that time I passed out. I couldn't I couldn't even get up. Okay, I didn't know what was actually going around, but apparently I was with someone. Okay, I was with someone, a friend of mine, who we were going together, but he had crossed the road and then he had left me behind. So whilst I was also crossing the road, then I got hit by the motorbike. Now, this friend of mine, according to him, had to help me out with some other people and then put me in a car and send me to a nearby hospital. In fact, where we had the funeral was like a village. Okay, so there wasn't any community hospital or something around, so they had to send me to a nearby hospital. Now if I take my lens off, if you see this eye, you see how the eye is. It has been stitched like over 7 times. So you see the scar. Okay, it has been stitched, it has been operated for over 7 times. Okay, so this is what I actually do not understand, what is going on in our home country. If I make a video, okay, and I tell our leaders to reason and then take care of the citizens of the country, then I mean what I say, because I have been through terrible situation and I am not the only person. Okay, people have gone through terrible situations and people have lost their lives out of some small things that could have been solved easily. Okay, and then because of the carelessness or because of the non-seriousness of our leaders, then people pass away easily. Okay, this is my issue. So when I was sent to the hospital, in fact, this eye of mine couldn't see anything. I couldn't see with my right eye. This is my right eye, but because of the camera, you might think that it's my left eye. Okay, so this is my right eye. I couldn't see. So the very sad, eh? The cornea, okay, this white thing had gone somewhere. It had gone somewhere, and the black had turned upside down. Okay, so in fact, I could see behind me. I could, so when I closed this left eye of mine, I could use this eye to see behind me. Very terrible. And this is my story I am sharing. Very terrible. I could see behind me. So now they took me to a nearby hospital. So by the time, as I was in a car, like we were in the car, in a taxi going to the hospital, then I could hear people say that, oh, she's not dead, she's not dead, she's awake, she's awake. She's awake, she's awake. Then all of a sudden I was like, what happened to me? I was talking, I didn't know, but I was just voicing out something. What happened to me? Then the friend of mine whom I was working with was like, don't worry, we are sending you to the hospital. Be calm. We are sending you to the hospital. So when I got to the hospital, when we got there, I was like, what is happening? I am in pain. Then I started feeling the pain now. I am in pain. What is happening? Then my friend told me that, wait, there's an ambulance. They called an ambulance, okay, to come and pick you from the village, the nearby hospital, to Accra. Okay, so from where we were in the eastern region to Accra was like 2 hours drive. Okay, so the accident happened. Could you believe that the accident happened at 4 p.m. in the evening? The ambulance, which we were waiting, came around 10 p.m. Yeah? Accident happens at 4 p.m. Ambulance comes at 10 p.m. How many hours difference? How many hours? So when I say that our leaders are not serious, this is what I mean by they are not serious. Okay? This is what I mean by they are not serious. See, recently, about 1 or 2 years, like, let me say 2 years ago, I collapsed on the streets of Cologne. I collapsed on the streets of Cologne. By the time I woke up, I was in an ambulance. They were taking me to the hospital. Pion, pion, pion. They were taking me to the hospital. And that's period of time. So when I was, in fact, I was dizzy. So when I collapsed, I saw something like people were coming to help me. Okay, so they helped me, and then what I could hear was that they were calling the ambulance that someone had collapsed. Okay, so they should hurry up and come. So within a second, they were there. This is what we mean by people are serious. They mean business. Okay, so my issue was very, very sad. And then the ambulance comes at 10 p.m. Now from the village to Accra was another issue because I was in pain. My waist was paining. Every part of my body was paining. If you can see some of the scars of the accident, these are some of the scars of the accident. This is one. This is one. This is another one here. And this is another one here. In fact, I have scars all over my body, okay, due to the injuries that had inflicted upon me. Now, the journey alone from the village to Accra was another problem altogether because, one, the road was not good. The road was not good. There were potholes. So you people are there and you are not reasoning. What we call simple responsibility. You think that we voted for you to come and fill your bellies, or we voted for you because you are handsome, so we vote for you to put you there. Then you come and misbehave. Like, seriously. You see what I talk about? You see what I talk about? So that journey was another problem altogether because, and I am not the only person who has gone through this. A lot of people go through this and they lost their life. A lot of people, a lot of our musicians, recently there was this, a lot of them, they go through motor accidents and then boom, because road is not good, because of carelessness, because of, it's a serious problem. It's a serious problem. In fact, in Ghana, it's a serious, and I know it's not only in Ghana. I have stayed in like Cote d'Ivoire before. It is the same thing. I have been in Benin before. It is the same thing. Nigeria is the same thing. I have been in Togo. I have stayed in Burkina Faso. It's West. Okay, so what is it that we are not doing right? What is it? What is actually going on? Because you will not collapse or you will not have an accident here and delay the Krankenwagen or the what do you call it? The ambulance would delay for almost 6 hours, 7 hours. Really? It cannot happen here. In all the developed country, it cannot happen here. Okay, so now we are on the road, and then because I was in pain, the ambulance was also speeding out because it has to get to Accra. And then one funny thing is that there's no nearby hospital around, a bigger hospital around. So every case has to be sent to Accra. Every case has to be sent to Accra. And Accra is also choked. Okay? So finally we got to there. There were no beds. I was even fortunate because I had a friend, okay, a sister friend who was working at that place. So she had to lobby with them, and then they gave me a bed. All right. So when they gave me a bed, in fact, from when we arrived at the hospital till through the treatment was another headache. I don't know if nurses and doctors in my country are just, I don't know, maybe it's because of the unemployment rate, the high unemployment rate, and then they feel that, okay, let me just go and enroll myself in a nursing school, or let me just do this profession because when I finish, my job will be lying there waiting for me. I will not struggle to get a job. Okay, so let me just do this and get, at the end of the month, get some salary into my pocket and then take care of myself. Okay, I don't know, there is no passion for the job, and of course there will be no passion when the government is not giving any incentive. I understand that place, I understand, but if they don't give you any incentive, I understand, but the job should be your passion before the incentive come. If you are thinking about the money, then you not have even any passion for the job, because when I got right to the hospital, everything at the hospital was a total mess. It was a total mess. Okay, there is no bed spread on the bed. Okay, so as you come, as an, like, it was an emergency section. Okay, so you hadn't prepared from the house to bring all your things together. Okay, so when you are coming, you just come with yourself and whatever has happened to you. So they put me on the bed without any bed sheets. Okay, so, and the bed, the mattress too, is like it's, there's a form of rubber covered around it. Okay, so, and my body, my back was, everything had, I was having injuries all over. So when I lie on the bed, the injury and the rubber like comes together. Okay, the injury pastes on the rubber. So when I'm kind of turning, I can't. Then they will have to remove the rubber. They will have to remove the rubber on top of the injury before I could turn. And it was very painful. Very, very, very painful. Okay. And on top of that, apart from my eye, okay, apart from my eye, I had a broken, what do you call it, shoulder. I had a broken shoulder. And it was very sad, very, very sad, and very painful. Okay, now they come to look at my eye, and they don't even know which specific doctor to take care of the eye. They don't know if it's the eye surgeon. They don't know if it is the what do you call it, the plastic surgeon. They don't know if it is the I mean, so now they took me to the plastic surgeon. Okay, when I got there, in fact, and even for them even transporting you from the emergency to the plastic surgeon is another problem altogether. It's a problem altogether, because at that point in time you are in pain, and then the way they will even lift you the way they will lift you and then transport you to the place is a problem. I remember Okay, I remember. And when I remember all these things, I feel like, wow, I have been through a lot. I have really been through a lot. People are also going through this, but they don't have any say. Okay, because there is nothing for you to, there is nothing. There's nothing for you to do. So you have to be there and then face what it is. Now, they take me to the eye surgeon and the plastic surgeon section, the plastic surgery section. When they took me there, they will not even put anesthesia on the eye. You know that the eye is very delicate, huh? There was no anesthesia on the eye. And instead of them to give me anesthesia so that I sleep before they work on the eye, they did the surgery like raw, and I was feeling the pain. At 37 Military Hospital, I was feeling the pain. Okay, so now, apart from me feeling the pain, I was like, what is happening? What is actually happening? Because I couldn't even talk. I couldn't talk at that moment. So they did what they had to do. Meanwhile, it was a try and error, something. So when the surgeon, I didn't even look at, because I couldn't see. So I didn't even know the person who was doing what on my eye. But I could hear them say that, as for this thing, it will not, she's injured a lot. I don't think this is my field. I don't think they have to send her to the eye specialist, because this one, it is for the eye specialist. You know it is for the eye specialist. Meanwhile, you are doing try and error. You see? So that is what I was hearing them say. But I was in pain and I couldn't speak up. I couldn't speak. So if not that I couldn't speak, I would have said that, okay, so why don't you put a stop to it? Because this is not your field. So let the eye surgeon take care of that. So in fact, the long and short of this is that they did the try and error, and then I came back to the emergency section. And then later on, I think 2 or 3 days, they had to move me from the emergency section to the ward. Now, when I got to the ward, they had to also send me to the eye specialist. Okay, I was sent to the eye specialist. And when I got there, what they had done previously was a total mess. It was waste. So they had to remove all the sutures. They removed everything. And then the eye surgeon had to redo it again. He had to redo it again. And that surgery, we started at 3 p.m. and then we ended around 11 p.m. And that surgery, I had to go through it without any anesthesia. No full anesthesia. The anesthesia was put on my eye. And because you know that I was really injured, my eye, if I put the pictures there, you will not be able to watch them. You will not be able to watch them. It was very serious. The eye, everything here had rubbed. Everything here was gone. You could see the eyeball, okay? Everything here had gone. And if you see my eyelid, even some of the eyelid is torn, okay? Everything here had rubbed. So the local anesthesia my eye couldn't sustain the local anesthesia, because everything, all the tissue, everything had rubbed. Okay, so the eye could not sustain the local anesthesia. Whenever they put the local anesthesia, I don't even feel anything. In fact, they were putting it on it for it to be numb, okay? But it wasn't working. So whenever they put the suture, okay, I feel the pain. So this surgery, for 7 hours, I felt the pain from 3 to 10 p.m. Now, after the surgery, I couldn't even talk. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything, because I felt the pain really in my body. They moved me from wherever they did the surgery to the ward. Now, you know that every morning they have to give you your medication and then they had to put this eye drop on the eye. Now, the nurses also who had to put the eye drop on the eye, you know that this thing had been sutured, okay? It had been sutured, and it is not even up to a day. Just after I did the surgery, I came back to the ward. It was like 4 hours or 5 hours, okay? So it was fresh. When they are putting the medicine on the eye, instead of them to drop it like this, they will just open the eye, as if there was nothing wrong with it, and then they will put the medicine. So at the end of the day, before even I could go back for review at the eye surgery, the eye doctor, they had also torn every suture. All the 7-hour the 7-hour surgery that I went through had been torn in 4 hours because of the negligence of the nurses. Because of their negligence, when they are putting the medicine on it, instead of them to just put it like this, they will just open it wide. So you know that the suture was just fresh, so everything had torn again. So I had to go through another surgery again. So that was 3 surgeries I had to go through again. That surgery took about 5 hours. That 5 hours, no full anesthesia. It was just local anesthesia, and the eye couldn't contain the local anesthesia, so I had to go through the pain. In fact, I really suffered. So it got to, then the surgery was over. They would do one surgery after the other, one surgery, no anesthesia, one surgery. I really suffered. So it got to a point, my family, the way I was suffering, I told my family members that no, I can't suffer again, so it's okay. So my family members then decided that, okay, they would like me to rather come here to Holland to continue with the surgery, because it was it was very, very, it wasn't easy. So in all, I had like 6 surgeries before we decided that enough is enough. I had 6 surgeries. We decided enough is enough. And even with the broken arm, that one too, in fact, the hospital was only focused with the eye. The broken arm, they weren't concerned. Okay, so we had to also go through and lobby. Even to see the doctor was another headache. So now what happened? After the 6 surgeries, my family was like, it's enough is enough. Let's continue elsewhere. So we did the procedure, okay? And I mean, everything went on smoothly until I got all the documents, and I had to go for to do the processes and get the visa. But unfortunately, the visa wasn't granted to me on the fact that if I come to Holland, I will not return back, and then means of subsistence was low and a whole lot of things. So at that point in time, I was really like down. I didn't know what to do, because then the eye too was like tearing, and there was a lot of discharge. It was very, very, very not good to see. Okay, it was not even nice to see. My face totally changed all of a sudden, because every place was, all this place, everything here was injured. So it really changed my face totally. Now, when I wasn't granted the visa, then what do I have to do next? Because going back to the hospital was a headache. Okay, so I still went, but before even we decided that we want to continue the treatment in Holland, the doctor had to give us a referral form, okay, a referral form, because you cannot be a doctor and then you do one surgery after the other, one surgery after the other, another surgery after the other, until 6 surgeries, which is, I mean, it's not, you cannot do a surgery over and over on one eye, do one surgery after the other. And they said the intervals of the surgery was like 1 day, 2 day, 1 day, 2 day. No. So we needed a referral from this doctor. And according to this doctor, if he gives us, listen to what he said, if he gives us a referral form, then it means that he has undermined his job, because this is something he can do. Listen, oh, this is something he can do. So if he gives me a referral letter, then it means that he has undermined himself for giving a referral letter for this eye to be treated outside Ghana. Is it by force to treat yourself in Ghana if you have the means to treat it elsewhere? It's not by force. So since you started with it, because when you actually look for a hospital here, they would like to know your history, okay? They would like to know, because the accident didn't happen in Holland. It happened in Ghana, and they had tampered with the eye. So assuming it had happened, and then there wasn't any first aid, no one had tampered, and I had a visa, and I flew directly to Holland, it would have been another story. But since they had tampered with, they did a lot of surgery, one surgery after the other, there should be a history, how the surgery went about. Then I can take this letter to the hospital in Holland so that they can know what to do. This doctor said he cannot provide like details. In fact, it was that place was also another issue. So he just wrote a letter. Okay, the letter didn't actually it didn't actually prove, or it didn't actually give a meaning that that could even convince the embassy to give me the visa. Okay, so normally he has to write into the letter why you want to go outside to be treated. Okay, and then he also doesn't want to write in the letter that he had done the surgery 6 times and it's not working for me. Then he will undermine himself, and he cannot also state in the letter that this surgery cannot be done in Ghana, so it has to be done abroad. Okay, so the letter was just on the surface, so the letter even didn't convince the embassy to give me the visa. Now the visa was not given to me, but then I was going for review at the hospital. So I went for review, back and forth. The eye wasn't, it was still having, I was having problems, okay? I was having problems because there was a lot of discharge due to the injury, lots of discharge. I was having problems. So what then went on was that one time I had a call from someone that there's this doctor in the US, okay? So most of you might know him. He's a Ghanaian, but he's based in US, and he's called Michael Obeng, Dr. Michael Obeng. He was the first ever surgeon who had to join the limb together in the US. So he does a charitable work, okay? He has a charitable developing countries. I know he goes to Ghana, Nigeria, certain countries to do charity work by doing free surgery. And then he's a plastic surgeon. He's a plastic surgeon. So someone called me that this doctor was coming to Ghana with his team to do a free plastic surgery in Bolgatanga, in the northern part of Ghana. So I should profit and do my eye. So they gave me the contact and everything. So I said, okay. Then I went. So when I went to meet the doctor and his team. I explained everything that had happened to me. They looked at my eye. And even that time, after the surgery, till I met this doctor, Michael Obing from the US. The interval was like 1 year. 1 year until I met this doctor. So the doctor looked at my eye, they did everything, or even that time, they gave me full anesthesia. After 1 year, when I had the accident, they gave me full anesthesia. I slept totally, and then they worked on my eye. So what they did was that they took a nerve in the left eye and then they placed it in the right eye. So at first, when I closed this right eye, it wasn't closing. When I closed, you see the cornea around. Okay, so because they took the nerve here and then fixed it here, when I close the eye, it closes. So this is what the doctor did, thanks to his team. This is what they did. Now, after they did this thing, they then gave me a letter to go back to my doctor and then continue with the treatment. So I had to go back to the doctor and continue the treatment. So the long and short of it is that I didn't get the visa to come. And I didn't get the visa to come. And then the doctors were also, because whenever you also went there, you go to the hospital, they have a lot of patients. So there is no, what do you call it, time for them to communicate and look at you properly. And because there are a lot of patients, sometimes there are emergencies, sometimes, and then it's very annoying when you go to the hospital in the morning, like 6 o'clock. You have to stay there the whole day. By the time the doctor will check on you, it's like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. You go at 6 a.m. and then by the time the doctor sees you, it's like 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. So eventually you have to waste the whole day at the hospital. And this is what is happening as I'm talking now. This is what is happening there. So I sat down one day and I said, no, if I don't take care, these people will mess up my eye. So let me just find ways and means and see what I can do for myself. Yeah? Now, I didn't know what to do. I didn't actually know what to do. So I had to go there on checkups, until finally when I had admission for my school and then I came to Germany. When I came, I said hallelujah. So I just left them and I continued the treatment here. You see, I continued the treatment here. And when I continued the treatment here, everything is in place. They give me everything I need to put on it. They give me, in fact, so this is some of the things that we tell. These are some of the things. Okay, these are some of the things. A lot of people lost their lives because of negligence, because of your pockets you want to fill. Because of how can someone, you see, some of the things, how can someone write a will? Write a will. Someone in power writes a will, and then a forest reserve. You put the name of your family members, that if you die, they should give your family members the forest reserve that we do not even touch. You open offshore accounts in Canada, accounts in UK, accounts in US. Then they'll be putting the money, transferring the Ghana money into account in US, account in Canada, account in here, there. Then when you die, you give it to your descendants, your family members, that if you die, they should give this account to this person forever. Are you serious? Are you serious? Will Biden open offshore accounts in Ghana and state that this account is for me and my family members forever? Are you serious? Are you serious? Instead of you to use this money to develop the country, do something for the country, develop the country. Today, when you go to hospitals, there are no beds. I know some communities in the upper north in Ghana, when you go to Sisala, you go to upper west region, certain communities do not have hospital. They have to walk. They have to walk from a community to Wa to come and access healthcare. Are you serious? Do you think about the country? Are you guys serious? So you see, these are some of the things we talk about. My issue, what I went through was as a result of these things. It wasn't easy for me. It wasn't easy for me from the time I had the accident till the last surgery was done. And I said to myself, enough is enough. I wouldn't want to subject myself to this pain again. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. Even when I was under this surgery, you want to urinate, they will tell you no. You cannot stand up and urinate. Like, seriously, you cannot stand up and urinate. So put catheter here. When you are sick, when you can't stand up, they will put catheter. If you do, if you give birth, and they do CS, cesarean section, because you cannot wake up, they will put catheter so that you'll be able to, the urine will be able to pass. Okay, so I really don't understand some of these things. That if you want to urinate, no, you cannot. So before all this surgery I went through, before I'll go and lie there, I have to make sure that I go to the washroom, I urinate, I go to the washroom, make sure that all the urine will pass before I'll go and lie there. Because if I lie there 7 hours, 6 hours, they will tell me that I cannot wake up and urinate. This is what they will tell you. You cannot wake up and urinate. You have to lie there. When the doctor finishes, that is it. Ghana. So these are some of the things. These are some of the things I talk about. You see, in as much as I give advice that, okay, these are some of the opportunities in Germany. These are some of the things you have. I also love my country. You get my point. I love my country. But you guys, the people or the people that we have elected to lead the country are not serious. They are not serious. They are not serious. So if you know you are not serious, you pack your things and go and sit down and let serious people take over. So this is what I went through. This is what I went through. So the day I had admission and I had my visa, I said, hallelujah. I thanked my God and I said, let me pack my things and come. And in fact, I will continue with this treatment of mine for my eye. So this is what happens to me. Thank you for watching my videos. Please, if you were thrilled, give the video a thumbs up. And if you have any comments, anything, just write it in the comment section below, okay? And let's discuss about it. This is very serious. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.